When you're talking about true competitors to the Tissot PRX, there really isn't much out there. Today, we're taking a look at two watches that take on the Tissot PRX head on. It's from the brand Festina. I have two to show you guys. I have a quartz and their automatic, which is powered by a SOPROD movement in-house to the Festina group. These both get very interesting textured dials. I have two different colors, two different sizes. So let's flip the camera and take a look at the Festina Rive. These are called the Rive from Festina, R-I-V-E. There are two different versions available, a 35 millimeter and a 40 millimeter. You can get them in either automatic or in quartz. The one that's in my hand right now with the blue dial and that open heart obviously is the automatic. The one lurking in the background with that minty blue dial is the 35 millimeter in quartz. The movements inside these watches are different. So you're getting a ronda movement inside the quartz version. However, in the automatic version, you're getting a SOPROD movement, which is in-house to Festina, to the Festina group. If you're not familiar with the Festina group, there are a number of watch brands that sit under this group's moniker. Also, they own Parallel, a very cool watch brand that makes some very interesting watches, and they get SOPROD movements. SOPROD makes some very high-end movements, and then they make movements that are competitors to brands like Etta and Sellita. That's what you're getting in this watch. So it makes it an in-house watch. This is in-house to Festina. This is a Swiss-made watch. It's a Swiss-made automatic. The movement actually gets a custom rotor. It looks really good. I'll do plenty of close-ups. This is a competitor to the Tissot PRX, obviously, because you're getting a 35 millimeter version and a 40 millimeter version. It's an integrated bracelet watch with an Etta clone inside. So you're getting a SOPROD Etta clone, which is very similar to a Sellita SW200. This gets a sapphire crystal, 100 meters of water resistance, applied indices with lume. It's an integrated bracelet watch, so it's all in stainless steel, and you get to see the movement from the back. This is different from the Tissot PRX because this gets a different movement, number one. Number two, it also gets a very different texture on its dial. There are three different versions available, really. There's an automatic version with a closed dial. There's an automatic version with an open heart, which is what I have in my hands right now. And then there is a 35 millimeter that's available in automatic or quartz. So really, I guess, four different versions available if you are counting. Also, they all get this bezel. It's a split bezel between coin edge and polish. It's sloped and the watch is thin, coming in at about 10 millimeters thick. That's on the automatic version. On the quartz version, it's around 8.5 millimeters thick. Both dials get really cool patterns on them. They radiate from either the date on the quartz version or that open heart on the automatic version. There is a version that does not get an open heart. They did not have that watch yet when I received this. However, they are now offering one with a different pattern. It's a tapisserie pattern, which is very similar to what you get from the Tissot PRX. So that is very similar. However, you're getting this bezel, the eye-link bracelet with polish down the middle. You're getting a really nice bracelet on here. It is very similar to what you would get from something like a Tissot PRX. However, it's different because it's from Festina. It's their own thing. You have this little badge right here that has their logo, and then you just pop this open. It is friction closed, and you have a butterfly clasp, which is, of course, all milled. You get to see the movement from the back. The rotor on here is blue, and you get to see that SOPROD movement, which is actually not a bad looking movement at all. Screwed in case back, 100 meters of water resistant sapphire crystal on the front and back. And all in all, it feels like a really nicely made watch. No rough edges, everything feels beautiful. The case is really nicely finished as well. You have brushing, polishing. There's a little bit of bead blasting on the case back. On this automatic version, you're getting that deep blue dial, stick indices, stick hands. There is no lume on the second hand, I believe, but we will do a lume shot at the end of the video. Down at the bottom of the dial, it has the brand logo. It says Sapphire below that, and then it says Swiss made. I wish it didn't say Sapphire. I think that's implied on a watch like this. However, they add the word Sapphire on here for one reason or another. This is the 40 millimeter version. It measures in exactly at 40 millimeters. You have a 47 millimeter lug to lug, and it's around a 50 millimeter lug to lug if you include the bracelet. This is a 35 millimeter watch. I measured 35 millimeters spot on, 42.3 millimeters at the case for the lug to lug. It's a little bit bigger because you do get male end links on the bracelets on these, so it's around 45 millimeters if you include the bracelet. Again, 8.5 millimeters thick, so not a very thick watch. This is powered by a Ronda movement. I think it's a 715, and it comes in at $270 if you get their new dial version. I'll throw up a picture of that. It's a non-textured dial. If you want this textured dial, it's $295. That's in 35 millimeters or 40 millimeters. So that is very, very good. You do not get polish on the bracelet on this version. On my wrist today is a Maron Musi. This is a watch that I will be doing a review for very, very soon. 300 meters of water resistance without gaskets. It's made by a manufacturer who manufacture cases. So very, very cool watch. Lots of technology here. Very excited to do the review for this watch. And there is the automatic rivet on my 7.5 inch wrist. It wears almost exactly like a PRX. You're getting very similar dimensions to that PRX. And I think it looks great on my 7.5 inch wrist. The 35 millimeter version also looks really good on my wrist. I would go for the closed dial version of this watch, which has a tapisserie dial. Eventually, I hope that they come out with this pattern on a closed dial version in automatic. I think that would be the ultimate version of this watch in 40 millimeters and in 35 millimeters. But let me show you that 35 millimeter version on my 7.5 inch wrist. It wears like a 36 or maybe even a 37 on my wrist. I have a 7.5 inch wrist, and I think it fits me really well. I would wear this watch. It's not small. I don't think it looks small, and it doesn't feel small either. Really good looking watch. I love the dials on these watches. Pricing on the automatics, I don't think it matters if it's a 40 millimeter or a 35 millimeter. The open heart version is $830. If you want the closed dial version with the tapisserie pattern, that one is $720. Well, there you go. You can see there's lume on the hands, only the hour and minutes, no lume on the second hand. I wish there was a little bit of lume on the second hand. And of course, the indices are lume, but the primary indices only, and that is on the automatic version. On the quartz version, the 12 o'clock is not lumed. I wish there was a little bit more lume on the dial on those indices. I think it would look a lot better and obviously be easier to tell time in the dark. The hands are decently applied, but they could use a little bit more lume. Kind of similar to what you get from the Tissot PRX. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. These are definite direct competitors to the Tissot PRX. However, they're offering you something different. First, they're offering you an open heart or a closed dial, depending on what you want. Automatic and a quartz, two different sizes, 35 and 40 millimeters. These are a little bit dressier, I would say, but you're still getting 100 meters of water resistance. So these are true everyday integrated bracelet stainless steel sports watches that you could do pretty much anything with. I like the fact that they didn't polish the bracelet on the quartz version, and if you want something a little bit dressier, you definitely go for that automatic with those center links that are polished. These wear really well. They're thin. I think these are great competitors, again, to the Tissot PRX, but offer something different, especially with that bezel that's coin edge. It's a little bit different, also a little bit more dressy. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear what you guys have to say about these watches. How do you think they stack up against the Tissot PRX? I want to hear what you guys have to say down in the comment section below. I will add links to these watches down in the description just in case you want to check them out. And that's really it, guys. Thank you for logging on. Thank you for checking out this video. Thank you for joining me today. I will catch you guys in the next video.